guys. Welcome to the Loud Voice podcast. And I'm your host, your lovely host, by the way, Chino Wasal. And this is yet another episode 4 of the Loud Voice podcast of the My Stories series. And today again, I have a guest. I'm going to have a guest for you every other week, every other episode until we finish the My Story series. So today I have an amazing girl, an amazing lady in studio, and right over here, and her name is
hello guys, hello around the world. Welcome to the Loud Voice podcast again. Apudo Vivian here, a human library for your stories today.
Oh yeah, so I had a very easy time inviting this lady. I invited you first to my podcast and she didn't come through. She actually disappointed me not a day, 2 hours too, actually.
The same day.
But finally, because it's a holiday, she's busy and whatever, and because it's a holiday today, I managed to bring her here. So yeah, this is Vivian Apudo. I met Vivian Apudo at a workshop actually. Right?
Sure.
We met at a workshop where we were both there, and I loved how she was there, vocal and whatever, speaking so many about things, and I was like, I did this one for my podcast. So yeah, I'm happy, Viv, that you've joined the Loud Voice podcast, that you've come as a guest. And yeah, Viv has a story. Like I always say, every other day we give you a story in my story series about people's life, what made them who they are today. Like I always told you before, everyone has a story, okay? And everyone has a story that made them who they are. So yeah, Viv is here today to give us that story. So Viv, introduce V. Who is V Apudo? I have a friend called Apudo, by the way.
Yeah, you told me the first time we met and you asked whether we are relatives.
Yeah, whether you're relatives, because there are names that you can't just linearity. This one is also Apudo and they're different. No, I'm Wasal. I've never
heard of Wasal
anywhere. So it's just me. So yeah, tell us who is V and who is V and your story.
Well, if you meet me in the streets, call me Apudo. I love that name.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm so glad it's my loud voice that brought me here. She noticed my loud voice and told me, well, you can come for my podcast.
No, I actually tell people, it's if I was going to call it the vocal voice podcast, that wasn't going to bring in anything. So I decided to name it the loud voice. But in essence, the people I'm bringing in are vocal people. People that fight for what they believe in, are ready to speak it, ready to say it, and yeah, she's one of them. So yeah.
So hey world, hey viewers. So I'm here today. I want to talk about the inner child in you, the inner child in her, and the inner child in me. Because at the end of the day, we are normally all babies. Yeah, I still miss playing kati and being that small girl who is being carried around and running when your parents are back home. You run and chalala. Yeah, that's what sparks me, and I think that's what shapes us to an adult that you're going to become. Yeah, so Vivian as a young child was very bubbly. Sometimes I call myself bubblegum, apart from Apudo. Yes. So as a child, Vivian would be someone while at school there is a parents' day, she's in class 1, 2, or 3. Then our deputy would call me, Vivian, where's Apudo? Come and give us a vote of thanks. And I'm like, damn. I just normally love having an audience and so that they can just listen to my voice. Yeah, so that was
So you realized very early you had a voice?
Not really. It took me a while.
How?
And that is why I want to intertwine this with our childhood and finding your passion. Yeah, I didn't know that my voice is a talent.
Oh.
Voices can be talent.
Yeah,
talent is not all about just playing football, drama, and those things.
The people that do voiceovers for like for a living.
For a living.
Like 100% of their income come from voiceovers. So talent is, your voice can be your talent.
But then now, how are we brought up? You see, it's a parents' day, you have a kashairi, a poem, you're like, mbele yenu ninawaletea. So that was me. I would do that. But then after that, once your performance in school has gone down, then your parents will be like, a typical African parent, all you know is just saying those stories and poems. Why don't you put that same effort in this book? Yeah, so that made me just shrink my voice.
I don't know why African parents are like that. I don't want to interject whatever it is you're saying, but I don't know why African parents think like, okay, they were brought up like that. Like schoolwork is more than talent. Because right now, your talent or your voice or whatever is what is feeding you out here. And do you wish they could have supported it from going up? I
totally wish so, because they dimmed that light in me for a very long time. So I became this kid who was universally focused on books. Books and school, like that's all. I wanted to be the best student in class and what have yous. And then now when I got to
300 and something marks, 400.
Now I get to high school, the pressure becomes worse. I've met people my same level. Like in your school you are the brightest, but now you have like 500 same level bright people. Like you are.
Like you know how our high school do it. Like, from these marks to these marks, you go to the school.
Exactly.
From these marks to these marks, you go to school. Your 400, whatever, you go to Alliance. 300, go to Cool Girls.
Yes.
I was there.
I was at Senior Girls, so that was like 350 to like 400. Some people
your level.
Competition. Wow. I'm used to being like the first or the second or the third. Now I'm in Form 1, I'm like number 52. And then now I'm just wondering, what am I going to tell mom or dad? They keep telling me you need to put more effort. You know, we are paying a lot of school fees for you to get there. Yeah. Back to the same line. Light dimmed. That is.
Then I was so bright in primary school. Then I got to high school, and my first exams I was number 60. I swear the kind of day I went to, and I was like, I thought I was the brightest. But later came and remembered, this is everyone who is my level is here. So, and there are people who are your level, but like you're in the same bracket, like going upwards, but some are here, that is when I also realized everyone who is in my bracket, or mind-wise, brain-wise, is here. So you can't expect yourself unless you work extra hard. Yeah, you can go above them. This is everyone that was best, just like you. So I guess.
Yeah, and then that curriculum was so much fucked up. It was just a matter of books. They could not support like talents. If you're good in basketball, if you're good in poetry or something. Yeah, same thing happened like a few years later while in high school. They called me to give a vote of thanks once again in high school. My loud voice. It was following me everywhere.
Oh, nice.
It was following me everywhere. Yeah, so that was high school. Then our deputy used to like me a lot because I could just speak in front of people and address issues.
I've seen you do that.
Yes. So that was high school. And then things happen so fast. You're in campus, you're an adult, and then African parents, ukishaenda kampo after first year now.
Yeah, they
Mamba yako na wewe.
They start giving you slowly.
They just
go flat.
They go flat. No more money being sent and
don't
stuff.
do a mistake of telling them like I got a hassle.
So
I told my parents I got this hassle and it was good. Okay, there was this small money that could sustain me. I could pay my rent and get something for food and whatever. So they only remained with the part for fee.
Makosa.
Then 3 months later I got this job. I didn't know how to go back to them and tell them, yo,
and I'm still your kid, so you have to provide for me. You see? So it went like that, and then it is just only after campus that it dawned on me that, wow, now we're here. This is it. You're in this world. I'm a counseling psychologist, by the way. I forgot to mention.
People that sit people down, what are you going to do?
We know one thing about counselors like us, like we don't tell you what to do. You're the one who's supposed to come up with a solution on what needs to be done. What needs to be done. I mean, most of the time,
that comes to the solution.
Yeah, I will ask you now, Wasal, what do you think we can do about this matter?
So people just take our money.
Please don't. No, it is not for free.
If I have to
you see, you are the one who knows best how how this felt. I might come up with a solution that was used on another different person, and it wouldn't work.
So the solution is found with me,
together. It is within.
So let's say together with me.
Everything
is within.
Within. Not without.
I can be my own self.
No. You need us, by the way. You need us a lot.
Oh.
That will speak on another day,
Okay.
another city.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm a counseling psychologist. Where I tried Nairobi. Nairo, bye. I'm here in Kisumu. Story for another day. So I came to Kisumu and my loud voice again is following me. So I had to network with women's organization because, well, if you are a loud voiced woman, you have to be a women's empowerment. Yeah. Empower or empowerment, whatever it is.
Whatever. You have to be a channel for them.
Yes.
Yeah,
so I've been creating networks in Kisumu where I go there and I let my loud voice be heard where I met you. And until now, much as trust the process, Naze. I know that I'm on the right track. Until now, I've discovered my passion. My passion is just speaking out on women's rights and matters community development. Like, that is what I would want in my 80s when I sit down by the fire. I'm covered with a lasso, and then I'd just tell my granddaughter, like, you see, when I was in my 20s, that is where I'm here, and I discovered this. And if you'd ask me the same question in another life, I would still choose this passion. Where just my voice is heard anywhere, whether it is radio, whether it's the TV, whether it is this podcast. Like, I am really sure, like, this is where I really am supposed to be.
So when did you realize you can champion for women's rights? Yes, you knew you had a voice, but when now did you decide, I want to go the championing for women? Because you could have done so much with your voice still. You have a very nice voice. You could have gone into voiceovers and whatever, and advertising, ungeenda radio and whatever, but you decided you're fighting for women's rights with your voice. So what led you there?
Okay, so short biography. Vivian here. No, I'm Apudo, not Vivian. Born and bred in Nyalenda, a slum in Kisumu. And slums comes with a lot of vulnerability. From a very young age, like teenagers, you are in school, primary school, you have a desk mate who cannot afford a meal. You see? And this desk mate, as young as she is, she has been exposed to like sexual abuse. It is sexual abuse because she is a minor. Yeah, that is when I realized, actually there was a classmate of mine while we were at class 5. That is the first time I heard about defilement. When class 5, she was defiled while going to the bathroom. She was in a lesson because in the ghetto, we don't have that privilege of having inside bathrooms. So it was an outside bathroom. And then someone storms in the bathroom and defiles her.
There weren't people around.
It was early in the morning, very early in the morning, because we could go to school by 5:30, I guess. I think that was too early.
Should be in school by 5:30.
By that time, where did you go?
I used to go to school so late. No, not mean the cool kid. But it was my father who could drop us, and I remember we could get to school so late. 7:15.
They were being dropped. Look at that. You're being dropped as we could walk our way up to school in that darkness.
Ingekuwa, the punishment was you pick garbage, you put through papers around the compound of the school, how whatever. That was the punishment.
That was a small punishment.
Even for class 8, my school, I don't want to name the school, but we were not allowed in school in the premises of the school before 6. No, don't.
I wish I was in your school.
What are you doing? What are you doing here before 6?
But I think that was too much.
People were in school
by 5:30.
So this guy
Yeah, so that is when I realized that we really need to speak out for women out there from a very tender age. Because women on that other side of the town, they're very vulnerable and they go through a lot of shit apart from defilement. Some just take advantage of them so that they can buy them a meal, lunch, it's lunchtime. You're a school going girl or kid or even pads.
I've had some, I don't want to say men, some people taking advantage of young ladies because you know the situation back home. You know you can't get that 60 bob for a sanitary towel pack. You know, that's been 8. Then you have very heavy flow that you need around 2 packets. So that is around 120. And already back at home, people are going through hell just to get money for food. That's 100 bob for food. So hapa wewe huko, we need 100 bob for food of around 6 kids in the house, and you also want 120 for sanitary pads. So you get that. I've not experienced it, but girls going to these men to get money for that pants, and I'm like, what if you get pregnant? Now you won't even need the pants.
Yeah. So that is very normal on the other side of the town where these vulnerable girls live. So I discovered my passion after campus. I'd mentioned that, and I just flashed back and realized how many women needs their voice to be heard, and how many of them their voice can't be heard because they don't have it. They can't be like loud enough like me. They don't have the networks to just speak out and let these matters be heard. Yeah, and that is why I'm so passionate about women's empowerment, because it is just a matter of our voice, because our voices are being silenced every day. And in that same breath, this week it is a week without violence in the whole world, where every woman all over the world, their voice needs to be heard.
Violence in the GBV or gender-based violence?
Yeah, mostly in the area of gender-based violence.
Do you also support like men? Because I'm staying in a nini that has both. Like separated na barabara. Okay, this side ni middle class, the other side ni now a ghetto. Okay, and I've literally had that a woman was beating the husband over very trivial things. Like I don't want to mention them, but like, do you also champion for men? Because right now it's not just women going through it, or you also have to pick a name, strong men. So yeah, maybe tell us.
Well, not really. Well, as I said earlier, like one of my passion is just wholesome community development. And gender equality, most people normally take it to be inclined on women's side only. But for an ideal world, we have to be a whole. Yeah, it comes on both men and women. But I'd say most survivors or victims are normally women. But we champion for both. We are all humans, we all fight for human rights.
Yeah. And you can see during elections, the gender that suffers the most, not by life, but
it's women.
Because you're displaced, and men will always find a way to remain, and the woman will always remain back at home with the kids and whatever, trying to get how they whatever. Yeah, so tell us about this journey of yours towards championing for women's rights.
Well, it started way back there, and until now, after campus, I love the woman I'm becoming in this, because sometimes I feel like the future is blurry, sometimes you really feel like giving up. I don't see things working out. And for us, I think as young people, sometimes we see things working out, we've monetized things working out. You see, we've tied it to money. Yeah, but sometimes...
And class.
And some class.
If you're not climbing, then
things are not working. But I think things working out could be me meeting you and making stories like this that will touch someone and change someone's perspective. That is still us making it. But damn, it is so hard. Sometimes I really feel like things are not working out. You see, because I've been putting a target for myself that at least by the end of this year I want to do this. I hope everyone has a target for each year. We all have. We all have that.
But these New Year's resolutions, whatever, that never come true. Like, never come to life. Most of them don't. But you still have to make it. So yeah.
Yeah, but life is a process.
I know.
Yes, because it's not easy. Some days are not easy. Some days I feel like giving up. Some days things are not working out. Sometimes I feel like, or this is not the thing for me. Should I start figuring out something else?
So where has women empowerment and just championing for girls and the wholesome community taken you to, like places it has taken you to maybe workshops and whatever you've had, just championing for women? Like, how has the journey been so far?
Okay. Before we go to the workshops and stuff, first of all, admit that it comes with a satisfaction. At the end of the day, when I get back home, I'm like, wow, at least today I did this. One stride towards my passion, you see. Yeah, so apart from those workshops, it fulfills me at the end of the day. Like, I do journals, not a lot, but sometimes I just go down and jot it down in my journal. Oh, sometimes I even go to workshops and I meet these guys, they're like, oh, you inspire me. I'm like, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Really? You mean?
Yeah.
They're like, I love how you speak and stuff.
That is how I
You
met
see?
you. Yeah.
And then that is
And apparently you're speaking totally on something totally different. It was climate
change. But do you know what?
We had
climate change and women's empowerment is one and the same thing.
They go hand in hand.
And climate change goes hand in hand with everything.
Yeah.
Because the world is all about climate.
Oh, yeah.
You see,
True.
once the climate is going haywire,
Everything suffers.
Yeah, like Alima's example on women's empowerment and climate change. Like you see, when there is drought, people go really far places to fetch water.
Yeah.
And then there's a lot of risks.
Mostly women.
Yeah, and then there's a lot of risks involved in this journey of going to get water.
Yeah.
This woman could be raped or something. You see?
Oh,
so you see
like
the way
you
they
say,
intertwine.
wholesome.
They intertwine.
That is good.
Yeah,
At least
yeah.
you found a passion and you're working towards it.
Yes.
Tell us more about it. Like, yeah. How long? What do you do for like? How do you get to these forums or whatever? Or is it just you going out there and speaking out? Or how do you do it?
Well, I think that's a difficult question. How do I do it?
Yeah,
But let me see. How I do it is, first of all, like I'll find networks that align with my passion. Like where we met. I will not mention it.
Yeah.
But that is a network that aligns with my passion and aligns with empowering women. You see, once you find such a conducive environment, it is very good for you to bud and grow. Yeah, they would notice your talent, and then they would call you like, Vivian, we have this, and we need someone like you. We know you can do this. And then sometimes I'm called, and then imposter syndrome comes. Imposter syndrome is real. Somebody just gives me a call like, hey, Vivian, can you come with this? We know you can do this. And I'm like, God, it's me. Am I really even gonna do it? Imposter syndrome. We have to get that with this. Yeah, so that is something really, I think it's very normal for people like us who find spaces and take up opportunities. Yeah, that is, much as I'm passionate about this stuff, I'd say
You need other people.
I need other people, and there's always self-doubt, there's always that imposter syndrome coming out, and at the end of the day, you conquer.
I know. I saw you in another another event. I didn't go for the event, but I saw it online. Prisons. Viv Apudo and prisons. Tell us about it.
Wow! Wait. You forgot that I'm a mental wellness advocate.
Oh,
Yeah, so on that day, it was World Mental Health Day. And that day, I cannot stay at home and there's that event.
Yeah.
Like, my God would not allow me to do that. Yeah. Because me and mental health, we are like this.
Oh, so
we are like this.
I get you.
It's my profession, come on. And plus, you see, mental health, I think it's something new on these sides of the world. Because in this sense of the world, when you speak about mental health, all that a person would picture is that madman in the marketplace. That is what mental health is for them.
People, you going mad. People don't know sometimes you can just go under. You're not mad, but you're just going under everything. I get you, because there was this day I was home, and these days that you just wake up and you're not yourself, and you're like, what the fuck is going on? Okay? And we actually wash utensils in the morning and walk the house and whatever. And that day I just went and sat in the couch. My mom woke up and she was like, yo, what's going on? Our parents are not used to the whole need of mental health, and parents can just be expect you to be awake
all the time
and moving.
No human can do that.
Yeah, every day you can't be umeamka, you've washed dishes, you've mopped the house, you've washed clothes. No.
Oh.
Sometimes you wake up and your body doesn't want to do
Anything.
just want to just sit. I'll wash them later. Yeah, they're there in the sink or they're in the pillow or wherever. I'll wash them later. And our friends don't just say that. So, yeah.
Well, just to mention, this year's World Mental Health Day theme was like making mental health a global priority, and especially on these sides of the world. You see, so I was there because I'm an advocate of mental health, and I work with the inmates of the prisons as their counselor.
You're a counselor for prison, for inmates?
Yes, at Kodiaga and Kibos.
This girl is everything.
I know, I'm a whole package.
Hey, jack of all trades.
Yeah, jack of all trades. Sometimes it's
and a master of all. You say jack of all trades, a master of none, but this one is a master
of all. Cinderella Sasa. They say that you have 17 years of being a youth, right? So this 17 years is a long time, and I just have to.
You have to get what you can do.
Yeah, sure. And aside from doing all that, like we really need to identify your strengths. Yeah.
I was told try everything until to that point you now realize now this is where I belong. This is now me. Because I've tried so many things, but from when I was young I was like, at some point I'll do radio.
Me too.
I'll be ready.
I wanted to be like Adele.
I'll be ready. So when I didn't get the chance to actually be on radio, yes, not that I didn't get the chance. I have not yet gotten the chance to be on radio yet. I myself, why not a podcast? A podcast can sell you too. You're also really Adele fan. Hey.
Big fan of Adele.
And then
oh my
God. If I decided to go looking at people that look at her page, and I'm a stalker. I usually
know.
I stalk her page so bad. I just love her vibe, from how she dresses, from how she talks, from how she handles issues, how she supports women, and now she's bringing it wholesome. Like everyone is involved in it and whatever. And I love that woman so much. I think it's an obsession now. But hey, you have to love someone. Like people are obsessed with Beyonce outside here. Why can't I be obsessed with our own?
Our own black woman.
So this prison thing, how long have you been doing it?
Oh, it's since this year February. Like we're almost 1 year down the line. Yeah. What I'd say, I don't comment a lot about it, but it's people inside there, they live a totally different life from what two people from the outside live. Yeah, so unless you just get in and have a day into their life, you wouldn't understand what goes on in there. Yeah.
So all these started from when you were young. Like you just growing up with your voice and whatever, you knew at some point you're going to change people's lives, at some point you're going to advocate for people and whatever until now. So it's your voice that has led you to who you are.
And that is why I'm in the Loud Voice podcast.
I know. You know, I've also had this voice. You know, when I was young, people could actually make fun of me back in primary. Wow. And I think I had the loudest voice. It was the most vocal. And I was there and I was good at also writing. So compositions easy manini we are doing supposed to do not quizzes per se. Walikuwa nakuja competitions. Essay writing. So I was there. We'll give a vote of thanks, call Marilyn. Someone needs to present something to the rest of the school, call Atieno Masal. And at some point there were these guys who could tell me, where sauti kubwa?
They did that. I know. Sometimes
actually I was so naive about it. Back then, like you're young and your peers are calling you every word, whatever, because of your voice, and you also really can't change it. But I tried drinking concussion. I was told it could soothe them.
You are not good. Your classmates, you're not good people.
I was told it could soothe my voice, kind of. You know how artists, singers do it. Sometimes the voice is rough and you just soothe it. And then there's this teacher. So I can't name her, but she was an English teacher, come mathematics. I don't know how she could fix English and mathematics at the same time. But yeah, she was an English mathematics teacher, and she came and she had a bigger voice than mine. And she was vocal in front of everyone. And one day I just went and told her. Unajua watu wananitukana hadi niko na sauti kubwa. And she told me, no, I'm louder than the principal. I can stand in front of the parade and even the principal will listen to me. So why is shy? And that is the man. Like I can call people to a meeting and they'll come. He'll have to call someone like me to go help him bring people. And that was when I was like, you can say whatever you want.
You have a nice voice. I love your voice, baby. I just can't wait to listen to it on radio. On air.
Yeah, so very soon.
I know, right? So, and it's a talent again. That loud voice is a talent.
You people, this girl is like shoe, but she can swim with it. Yeah. But then so many people have told me, hey, nothing. This voice is meant for radio. And I was like, soon. Soon. I need to leave them soon. I don't know how long I've been saying soon, but soon. Okay. Yeah. So, Vivian Apudo, tell us more about Vivian Apudo growing up and becoming this great person that you are now because of your voice.
Yeah, just to mention, anything women's empowerment will wake me up any time of the morning or the night. If you see that on any application that needs women empowerment, please pass forward or call me. Women's empowerment in the lines of women in leadership, fighting against SGBV, sexual and gender-based violence, and then women in technology. Yes.
Can I just ask? This is a little bit personal, but people go into things because they have a personal story like behind everything. You can find someone advocating for child abuse because they went through it or whatever. Did you go through the same, or you just saw it around?
Like the environment where I was bred up, these things were a norm. It would happen any day. Like I have a number of friends I've mentioned that I know had gone through this. You see, though myself I haven't gone through this, but I'd mentioned survivors of sexual and gender-based violence. It is rampant in that other side of town. Growing as a girl, your breast is just starting to show, and now your feminine nature is coming.
To realize it and see
it. Exactly. It is so normal there, and I used to be so sad about it because even these people, they wouldn't speak out loud about it. They would just say it later on. Okay, well in primary, I was in this group called peer educators. So these girls would, I think it was more of counseling. Imagine. Started this as a young girl.
Oh, you started early.
Yeah, so you could open up to us.
So you have almost a lifetime of experience. There we go.
So like people would come. I was the secretary of that group. I don't know whether I was the secretary or was the chairman. I have a friend of mine. I think she was the chairperson. She's called Maureen. Yeah. So we were there together. So someone would just come to you and tell you, Vivian, I've been going through this someone who's been touching. We were being told to be assertive. By the way, I took that. Like I understood the assignment of being assertive, but I think I was just stupid. Someone would just come and, hey, Mremo, Sasa, I'm like, leave me alone. That is not my
Tell someone no.
No. Say no and be assertive. So they'd come to us and open up, and then, we were young girls and we couldn't understand. We'd tell them the same thing. You be assertive. Well, you didn't know that it was their vulnerability that made them go through this.
Because some things you just don't choose to say no to. Like, utasema no to someone offering 120 for a packet of sanitary towels and you don't have it. So it's not just a matter of being assertive.
The major reason why I fight for SGBV is my girls, my playmates that we grew up with have gone through this, you see. Yeah, and it is a lifetime trauma, I can imagine. As a psychologist, I know it's a lifetime trauma. Yeah, so that is why I really advocate at least to make a change in our niche.
Do you think you've made enough change?
No, I have a long way to go. I'm just beginning, and I love this pace that I'm taking. I'm just beginning.
But as you need made a little bit like some change, and seen some change happening since you started your advocacy and just championing for girls maybe. Have you seen any change?
Yes, it has happened. You see, sometimes you don't have to start big, you start small.
Yeah.
In my home, where I come from, the other side of town, call it like that, from now henceforth, there's like a tree, a nice tree with a nice shade. Sometimes they just take teenage girls and then we sit there and I teach them about sexual reproductive health and rights, GBV, and reporting systems, and when to just shut up. Like, it's for free. You can sit on that grass in that shade and then we just stop and have a girl's talk. Yeah, those are the steps I am making towards this, because the other side of the town is still just the other side of town.
Did you have the same growing up?
No.
So that is why you decided to.
Yes. You see, growing up, there were not so many people you could talk to, apart from our teacher who was in the peer educators, and she was, for a better word, she was not all that exposed as well, and she'd feel uncomfortable speaking about some things like sexuality.
It's still a problem.
It's still a problem. I really wonder.
In schools and people are going, oh, kids are too young, and I'm always like, but they're doing it. You see, people are still thinking they're too young.
You see, the stigma they have put around it is what makes it, for someone who has gone through sexual and gender-based violence, not speak out. You see, they're put it to be something so dirty, or you should not speak about it. Why you should? Because it's a violation of human rights, and for that matter, it is the widely abused violation human rights. I mean, and that is why I am for it, because I know that much as it doesn't happen here, there's a girl in Nigeria, there's a girl in Colombia, or somewhere. It happens all over the world. You see, and it is something. If you want to live in an ideal world, I think we really need to start thinking in the lines of gender equality and making this thing a whole.
Like, speak about it. Speak about it. Yeah. So, how many girls do you have under your name? Do you have like an need for girls? It's once you like, today I'm going to have a meeting, or tomorrow I'll have a meeting, or do you have like a group, like a structured group where you see these girls, you meet them, you talk to them, or it's random?
It's a random group of girls where they have friends, and you could call your friends, like, we normally go for these sessions, so you can come. Yes.
Like yours, from your side? Is it just random, like you wake up and you decide, these girls are sitting here and I want to talk to them, or do you have a umbrella?
Oh, I normally tell them. I have my sister, she's also like, she just finished her form 4. I normally tell her, you can call some friends of yours on Sunday, we're going to have this session. Yes.
So they're like impromptu too?
Kind of, but they know that sometimes after like once in a month we have a meet and talk.
That is what I was asking. Like, is it structured? Like, we have meetings on such a day.
Yes.
There is this person is going to talk. This is the head and whatever. Like, how organizations are there. They support Mini.
Yes.
So is it like a mini organization, or is it an organization, a structured organization, or umekatuna? Like,
I think it is not well structured. Mostly, sometimes when I do that, I do with other organizations. But when I'm just alone, it's just girls in my neighborhood. Like, your big sister is around.
Oh, yeah.
You guys come here.
Big sister to some people out here.
Yes.
Nice. That is nice. Like, I've never thought of that. Yeah. Though let me just say I've never thought of that. But people have different, people go inclined into different things and whatever. Yeah. So you mix helping girls, GBV and whatever, with prisons.
Not prison, it's mental health.
Mental health.
Yes.
So is it all around the mental health, or it's just inmates?
Oh, it's all around, but mostly the ones I have had an experience with that I think it's a little bit tough is inmates and survivors of sexual and gender-based violence. Where if you're a psychologist out there and you have like these 2 clients, man up.
Okay.
It's tough.
The road is not easy.
That trauma is huge.
But I hope it gets easier.
It gets easier with time.
And I hope one day you'll have like your own entity.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's my dream. That's the end goal.
Okay,
that's the end goal.
If you need job in the next 5 years, it's gonna be
I am here.
Yeah, that is nice. nice. Like not so many people go that way and whatever. And I'm just happy you're doing that for girls around you. Have you moved from that other side of town? Because you call it that other side of town. Have you moved from it or you still live there?
I am in both places. There, I'm not there, but I'm still there.
But you're there.
Yes.
You know, even if we move from home, we still support home.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so yeah, I get it. That is your story.
Yeah, that's my
I
story.
love the fact that you're just like giving back to society, kind of, when you still don't even have it.
Anything myself, but I think of the society a lot.
And where you grew up in. I've met this girl in workshops and she's gone to so many and she's always just up and down, oh, women. And I'm happy about that. I just hope someday, like, I know it's, people say ideally they'll make it wholesome, but it's never really wholesome. It's always about women. Yeah, but I hope people will also start championing for girls, for
men,
boys,
and
men, because they also go through
yes,
these
a
things.
lot of them.
Yeah. Do you also deal with like inmates, both male and female?
No, mostly we are in the maximum. And in maximum for Kisumu, mostly we have males, maximum prisons. Like those who've been convicted for a very long time, like 20 years, 30 years, their lifetime, 10, yeah.
Oh.
And I don't know, I don't have the exact statistics, but most of them are men.
Oh yeah, but then you know that is also something someone can maybe look into, because a lot of men are in prison.
Yeah.
Boy, so many men. If you look at the number of men and women in prison, men are so many. I don't know why, but I know men also take part in a lot of violence.
They're aggressive by nature.
Just the other day I was walking around town and this guy, I don't know what he did. Literally these people that always have cameras and doing TikToks and whatever. You're going to, what is it called? Like, you're going to create your videos in town. And you know, I don't know how it got to a point they were now beating him. I don't know what he did, and men were just on him, and women were there like, no, stop. He's just joking. He's just making videos for his nini. Actually, no, you don't need someone like that. So I was like,
especially
this is a prank. That is a prank. It's supposed to be a prank. Why are people beating? They beat him so bad. And this woman literally came in, and so yeah, I also understand that men take part in so much of violence, but there's so many men in Mimi that some went in there for very small for very small reasons, and I wish the numbers couldn't be that. And I hope you will take care of that when we call you for our interviews or whatever. So yeah, Viv, I'm so happy that growing up in a slum kind of setting just led you to your passion of helping women, helping people with mental health and all that. And yeah, so by the way, even if you haven't experienced some things, you can still help. Kulingana where you've grown up in. So yeah, Viv, I'm so happy I had you today. Like I had you in our podcast, the Loud Voice podcast. I was so happy that we had you. So before you go, I have questions.
Oh,
yeah.
I had questions.
Yes,
But let us try.
No, they're fun.
I hope they are not hard.
They're fun facts. They're
fun
easy,
facts.
nice. Yeah, they're fun facts.
Go.
Normal everyday things.
Okay, let's
Okay. There's this one that I ask every day that if you don't get it,
If you don't get it, I hope you guys will forgive me.
Okay, so the number one question. Listen, Viv, you believe you have good brains.
Of course, yes. Very good.
Let's see how good that brain is. That high five.
Okay.
Okay, so the first question. Viv, the Mona Lisa is a painting by which artist?
Oh, damn.
Just went right in. Boom.
By which artist? I want to say something just out of the blues. Beyonce.
Beyonce is a painter.
I wanted to say something just out of place because I didn't know. Yes.
Leonardo da Vinci is the answer.
What's the name again?
Leonardo da Vinci.
Oh.
Yeah. You've heard that.
I didn't know.
Now
I know.
you know. This is the best thing about fun fact. So rubies are what color? Rubies, like there's gold, there's diamonds, I'm sure, and then there's rubies. Rubies come in what colors?
Wait, what are significant things I'm not even familiar with? You should ask me like one is which color. Like, you see.
Rubies.
Yeah.
I have rubies on rubies are which color? Can I give you
A hint,
you
please.
pick? No,
Give
not
me
a
a
hint,
hint.
but I'm giving you 3 choices. Nika A, B, C, D.
That's
So
better.
A, green. B, yellow. C, red.
Yellow.
Rubies are red.
Okay, fine.
Okay. Which is the hardest mineral on Earth? The hardest mineral. Just say it loud.
Diamond.
Yeah. Why you were doubting? She was here self-doubting and whatever. You've gotten at least those are 3 questions. You've gotten 1 correct. Baby girl. Okay. The 4th. Are you ready?
And the last one.
Yeah. No, the 5.
Wait.
Okay,
let's
I told
continue.
You, the 5. And you just gotten 1.
Okay.
Here we go.
Okay.
Okay, try this one. Next question. A New York taxi is what color?
A New York taxi.
Yeah.
I've never been to New York.
I've
Come
asked
on.
this question so much on my podcast. Maybe she
It's-
doesn't.
it's
listen to my
yellow.
podcast. Yellow.
Yes.
Nice. You've watched movies.
I've watched movies. Come on. I've been to New York while I'm here.
Ooh.
In the
No,
movies.
yeah. No,
The
I can literally say every corner of
New York
City. Of New York City. I know it, man. Through the movies I've watched. Not that I've been there, but through the movies I've watched. Yeah. Those are 4 questions. Okay. Which vegetable is normally used during Halloween?
Do we celebrate Halloween in Kenya?
No, but
Wait.
you've heard of Halloween. You've seen
I've
Halloween.
heard of it.
Yeah, it's a vegetable, a round one. I've given you hint, a round vegetable. And it's cut. You give it the mouth, you give it the eyes.
Around vegetable. Around vegetables are either cabbages or lettuce. So,
Oh my god. Here we go. It's a round vegetable that is normally made for Halloween. They cut the eyes, it's hollow. So yeah guys, I was happy that we hosted Vivian Apudo, and the fact that her story growing up and just having a loud voice and growing up in the slum, she calls it the other side of town. Yeah, just growing up the other side of the town led her to who she is today, a champion for women's rights, for gender-based violence, for just violence against women and the community as a whole. The fact that she also fights for mental health and is just there as an advisor for young girls, the big sister herself who was here. So yeah guys, so thank you for just being with us, for being and for listening to her story. And yes, until next time.
until next time, same place, same time.
Yeah.
Different people.
See you next time. Yeah. Hey, thank you. It was nice having you. So guys,
See ya.
bye.